So, welcome back, guys. If you've watched a few of my videos at this point, I'd love to hear you in the comments. Don't get much interaction at the moment because this is a new channel, so every comment means a lot. Don't forget to obviously follow and hit the notification button, bell button, if you want to get notifications. I'm such a newbie, I'm sorry. But I want to tell you a story about how I accidentally become a millionaire. Accidentally. I'm Raymond Taylor, and I'm going to show you how to create a freedom-based online coaching business from scratch. I went through rehab after coming out of prison because I was a drug addict and an alcoholic, and they broke me down. 6 months, fully intensive rehabilitation. It was like Big Brother, but worse. I'd been in prison for 9 months before, and prison was better than rehab. Rehab was awful. It was 24-hour day therapy. They made me talk about my feelings. They made me share every part of my life and my story and my traumas. They dug into all the pain that I'd caused to other people. They wanted to highlight all of those things, to bring it into my awareness so that I could realize the depths of the damage that I was creating to my own life and the people around me, and then begin to start working through it. And in doing that, I picked up so many lessons. And then after rehab, I went to AA and Narcotics Anonymous. So I went to Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous and even Cocaine Anonymous. They're essentially support groups where you sit in a circle and you share about your day and your problems to keep myself sober and clean. And sometimes I'd have to go to 3 meetings a day because I'd be so tempted. And during rehab, during these AA meetings, I didn't realize at the time, but I was absorbing people's thoughts, people's stories, people's relapses, people's breakthroughs, the way that people felt, the way that people thought. And I started to understand humans in such a deep and profound way, because unless you're in a scenario and a situation like that, you'd never get the opportunity to learn about the depths of how someone thinks and feels. When was the last time, unless you are a coach, that you actually had a deep and profound conversation with somebody? You probably have them a handful of times, right? With some very close people in your family or some very close friends. But imagine doing that every single day with strangers for 6 months in rehab, and then another 6 months in NA and AA, every single day, to the point where for a year, I'd absorbed thousands and thousands of people's problems and all the solutions and everything, and got the world's best life coaching training for free. And it was only when I started to just casually drop out a few things that I'd learned to people where I realized that they were blown away by it. And I was thinking, we can get this for free if you go to an NA meeting. Literally. But they obviously weren't drug addicts and alcoholics. Thing is, a lot of people have to get to some really severe, depths in their life before they're prepared to do the personal development. So regular people don't really get access to the best type of treatment because it's not painful enough to do something about it. When you're a drug addict and alcoholic, you have to go to these AA meetings and NA meetings, and they're not particularly fun. Rehab and therapy and psychotherapy and counseling, it's not all fun. Sometimes I was sitting in a church hall on a Friday night at 25 years old. But what it taught me, I've been able to truly understand how people work, and in the process, build a business that's worth $25 million. And there's so many lessons from this story that I could share, but I just don't want to go on forever. But the main thing that I want to share is you just don't know what life's got for you around the corner, even if it seems bad. I talk about this a lot. People always say, this thing happened to me, in a negative light. But if you always flip it to this thing happened for me because of this, and go out and make sure that that thing happens, then any bad thing that ever happens to you always becomes a good thing. And even if you're not sure what that thing is yet, just trust in the universe that that thing is coming. For example, recently, even after all the trauma that I've experienced, and I'm talking about the fact I've suffered with sexual abuse, I walked in and found my dad dead. My dad used to call me a buffoon and hit me. I've had mental health problems. I tried to commit suicide. All sorts of trauma. But then recently, me and my wife, my fiance at the time, were having a baby. And 5 months in, we went for the scan, found out something was wrong. And to cut a long story short, the baby didn't make it. And I had to watch my wife give birth to Mia Taylor. And she had a funeral because she was born. And Even then, in scenarios like that, where you look at it and you go, that's one of the worst things that could ever happen to somebody. How could you possibly ever dare say that something good can come of that? But I can. Because by being upset, angry, frustrated about the situation isn't going to help anything or anybody. Something I learned in Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous was the serenity prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now in Mia's scenario, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I cannot change that. But give me the courage to change the things I can, and to understand what things I can change and what things I can't. Because a lot of people spend their time trying to change things they can't change. I focus on all my efforts on things that I am in control of. To give you an example, I reached out to the charity that helps people who go through baby loss. And my business is now partnering with them to offer our coaches voluntary to their organization to not only train their team, but also to offer bereavement aftercare services to people that have experienced baby loss. And that's where it is now. Also, Diana, my wife, is finishing off her master's degree in counseling and thinks that she might niche down into helping people who have been through baby loss. So already, through my action of creating the partnership of the collaboration and Diana's potential decision to move into that area, we between us, actually not between us as a family, me, Diana and Mia, have chosen to do what we can to make sure that we make the situation better for other people, because we can't make it better for ourselves. And that's all we can do. So this YouTube video went out on a completely different angle. But the point I'm trying to make is, my life was at points terrible. Now I get to travel the world. I got married to the love of my life in Barcelona with the most beautiful wedding you've ever seen in your life, with 10,000 white roses around the entire place. I get to help people around the world. I've got the resources to be able to collaborate and give back to charity. And I never in a million years thought I'd be that kind of person. So if you're going through some tough times now, and you're thinking, what's the point? Why are things happening to me? Just always remember that you might accidentally become a millionaire one day. And you can make it more likely that you accidentally become a millionaire if you purposely become a millionaire. And the way to do that is focus on the things that you can change. And I'm going to leave you on the serenity prayer one last time, because it's life-changing. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. If you're enjoying my videos, please drop me a subscribe, a like, and I'd love to hear your comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Over and out from Lewis Raymond Taylor. I'm Lewis Raymond Taylor, and I'm going to show you how to create a freedom-based online coaching business from scratch.